Namaste, welcome to Nomad Basecamp in Pokhara, Nepal.
Namaste.
I'm joined by my friend Nirish. How are you doing today?
Great. How about yourself?
Doing very well. I feel like I have so much energy after this 5-day summit. It was totally action-packed. What were your thoughts about it?
First of all, I would say I was so impressed with your level of energy, running up and down, not just metaphorically, but literally up and down this hill that we're the resort is at. And yeah, it was amazing. The fact that, we had an organizer like you who was not just organizing, but you're actually pumping people up from early morning to do the yoga sessions, the dance meditations, all the way to late night doing karaoke. I think it was you who pretty much made the event for me. Well done.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I tried to bring as many smart people as I could into one place. But I think that the energy is kind of like the heat behind the fire. Like you can bake a cake, but then you need that energy. That's the fire that bakes it, right? So I think that for me it was really important to keep people enthusiastic, giving their all to this. And so I'm really glad that we were able to accomplish that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So what was your thoughts about the whole experience in general? As a participant.
Yeah, so this was my first ever digital nomad event, and I literally didn't know what to expect, and I literally only found out about the event a week before the event, and we saw it. It was it's Nepal's first digital nomad base camp, and I told my wife, we have to be there. We have recently moved to Nepal, and we don't really have a good business network here, so we thought this would be a great opportunity for us to start to build that network, learn from each other, and see what the event had to offer.
Awesome. Yeah, I love this country so much. I think Nepal has so much potential. Mm-hmm. It's not oversaturated as a digital nomad destination like Bali or Portugal or Thailand. A little bit rough around the edges at times. As you can hear, we have a little bit of construction behind this building.
It's got its own charm.
Exactly. But the flip side is that there's so many upsides as well. What are your thoughts about Nepal as a digital nomad destination or hub?
Well, first of all, it's super affordable, right? Compared to where we're living in London. You can pretty much it's like pocket change for a lot of people, especially digital nomads, from the West, moving around. So it's super affordable, but it doesn't mean that you're getting cheap quality. You get some really, nice quality accommodation and obviously delicious food all over the place. And I think that the warm hospitality of the people that makes you want to come back again and again.
I think for what you get for sleeping in a room with 10 people in London, you can live like a king here in Nepal, right? Yeah, so it's amazing. And, when I first came to Asia, I don't know when it was, 14 years ago, just a whole new world opened for me because I felt like I could be a kid again. I had disposable income again. I could go out to eat again, every day and rent a motorcycle and go up on a road trip if I wanted to. And, I spent 6 months backpacking Southeast Asia. I was in Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, went to all these places. And it just completely opened my world about what is possible. And I get that same feeling when I'm here also.
Yeah. There's so much to do here. Most people, like you said, you keep saying, when you think of Nepal, what do you think of? Everest, mountains, those kind of things. But that's just the tip of the iceberg that you can dig into, beyond the Everest, beyond Pokhara and the adventure things. There's culture, there's food, there's such a deep heritage of different kinds of people, and I learned there's hundreds of languages within a tiny country like this. So there's so much to learn and do here, and loads of fun.
Yeah, we have to speak up a little bit if we can.
Sure.
So I think that there's so much to offer here in terms of the restaurants, cafes, things to do. We have nature all around us, which is just 5 minutes away, which is absolutely incredible. We have fast Wi-Fi here, but we have slow living, as we like to say.
Yeah, and it probably has almost as good a flat Wi as Melbourne or London.
Amazing. So you mentioned that you had no expectations when you came here. How did your expectations match up with the actual reality, if you were to define those?
I thought the whole thing was super high energy. You know, from the moment we walked in, like we were very warmly welcomed by yourself and your team. And you know, that activity that we did the evening before the conference started, that really helped us like break the ice. Because a lot of conferences or events I've been to, you kind of rock up and everyone's just like doing their own thing and busy, and you just like sit down and just listen to talks. Whereas here, it just felt so much more interactive. And also, what I found really special was like no one was afraid to be vulnerable. No one was afraid to be open and honest about how they were really feeling. It was not just about like just performing or pretending to be all happy and businessy. It was like it was about the human condition underneath all that, the human challenges that can drive a lot of our feelings, especially when we're traveling around or nomading or running our own businesses.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that a lot of these nomad events, you have a lot of people just coming to try to pitch their co-living space or their new startup or something like that. It doesn't, and it's almost like the participants are forced to sit through that talk because it's like an advertisement. And here we really tried to bring in speakers that had something that they could offer that could hit those universal values that we all share, both foreigners and Nepalis alike, so that we can all, kind of level up and grow on our own personal tracks.
Yeah. And I think that because I was actually born in Nepal and I'm actually originally from Nepal, so it was great to see that mix, the cross-pollination of ideas and thoughts that happen in a space like this when you have people from all around the world and people from Nepal, like young, budding, energetic entrepreneurs from Nepal, and that cross-pollination was really magical to see.
Wonderful. One of the things we're trying to do here is to create community. Because there's a lot of potential here, but if you're just coming alone, then you don't really get to make the connections, relationships. So we're really trying to kind of put this place on the map as a wonderful place to come and to live and to work remotely. What are your thoughts and what were your experiences with regards to the connections you made, the relationships here?
I had some really good chats with a lot of people. So much synergy. A lot of us were kind of working on similar missions as well. So it's great to share each other's ideas and also find pieces of the puzzle that I was actually missing in my business that other people were kind of like they all had like kind of sorted out. So I was able to kind of chat with people and then pick those missing pieces from my own business and from my own life. And I basically finished the event with so much more clarity than when I started.
Wonderful. Yeah, I know there was a lot of information and a lot of energy, and I was also sitting in as many sessions as I could, even though I was busy. But I definitely felt like that, like I was having these dots connected in my mind while I was listening to the speakers talk. And they say that you're the sum of the people that you hang around with. So I just felt like I was really inspired by everything that people were doing. And I hope that you enjoyed my talk as well, because I talk about how we can use AI to kind of process all this information and put it into use also. I think it's great. I'm glad you had a good experience there. One thing we're also trying to be consciously aware of is the impact we have on the community as well and how we can improve this community. So we've also, like you said, we try to do some workshops that are free. Anyone can join, even if they're not at the Nomad Fest. So like tonight we have a free workshop on sleep hacking.
I'll do that.
Awesome. And that's free for the whole community to join. We've had some other free workshops before the summit. And we've gotten a tremendous support and reception from all of the Nepalis as well. And I think that we can really have a positive impact on the community as a whole and on Nepal's future as well.
Yeah, and I think that's super important to have the community on your side, because it's you're pretty much staying at their home basically, right? They've welcomed us with open arms, and if we can make them a part of this gathering, if we can co-create the whole gathering with the community in mind, I think it's going to be a win-win for both the visitors and the locals.
Best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining this interview, and it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you, and again, thank you so much for all the hard work that you put to make this happen. I know it's not easy having organized events before an event at this scale, takes a lot of dedication, a lot of energy, and a lot of hard work. And I basically lots of kudos to you and your team for the work you put in over the last year, maybe more. And I'm looking forward to the next one, which I am sure that's going to be bigger and better.
Can't wait to see you next year. Thank you.
Thank you.